Hello and welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make this awesome card art inspired by Marvel Snap. If you've been playing Marvel Snap for a while, you might be familiar with the game or with the card art, and it's really awesome. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make your card art like this. So what I will cover in this video is making the hero pop, like not only make it on different layer and push it forward, but also make a little bit of a parallaxing effect on the arm or on the hand, arm, and then the body itself. You can't really see it over here because, again, it's a limited rotation, but we will see it on a 3D modeling software or maybe in the Godot itself, and, animating the frame and also the fake parallaxing on the background. Oh, I forgot to mention the waving cape animation, and you might be surprised. It's actually pretty easy how to do it. And so, yeah, let's just get into it. All right. Well, I think I'm gonna show you a little bit on the modeling side of things first. So this is inside Blender. So basically, what you need to have is the card itself, right? The card model. But so what I have here, several layers of things. So in this case, like the forward one, maybe I could just make it solo. So this one is the name tag of the hero. So it's the one that is placed pretty up front. And then the second to that is the frame, not the frame, but actually the hero portrait, right? So you're going to have hero portrait. So this is going to be, what is it like? Just like a basic square. But it has like high resolution. So I just basically subdivided the plane several times. That's how I created this kind of how should I like high, not really high poly, but high resolution plane. And then the background itself, this is going to be used for the background that is being shown on the back of the card. Oh, the frame, I forgot to mention also, the frame is actually a 3D model. It's basically a plane, and then I just cut off the middle part and make the frame of the edges, and then extrude it. And then the last one is the glow back. So if you notice, if you play Marvel Snap, they have like the glowing effect on the back of the card, and we need a plane to represent that. Yeah, you can actually just copy the background. What is it? The background plane, and then scale it up a little bit, bigger than it should, or bigger than the default size of the background itself. So that's just basically the model. It's pretty simple, right? And so let's just jump into Godot. Oh yeah, export these things, and then let's jump into Godot. All right, so we are inside Godot. I already exported the model and imported the model to Godot itself. So it still have all the, what is it? All the layers that we exported before. But now I'm just going to focus on the hero itself, right? So the hero itself now only have the transparency on. Oh, and by the way, if you're having a trouble with the transparency, don't just plug the color node or the color output node to the alpha node, because it's not going to make your model or your texture to be transparent, but you need to decompose it first, and then connect the W or the fourth value to the alpha channel here, or the alpha output here. So that's usually a problem if you are doing some kind of a transparency thing inside the visual shader. But anyway, it has the hero texture now, but let's compare a little bit on what we have in the final product, right? So this is the final things actually, but I'm just going to focus on the what is it, on the hero layer here. So in the hero layer, if you like rotate a little bit like that, it kind of have like that fake not fake parallaxing, but parallaxing, right? It has like depth to it. Why? First of all, because of there's a normal map, but we're not going to touch that at the moment. But yeah, if you go sideways, it's actually the model is not just like a plane, plane, what, like a flat plane. That's what I'm trying to say. Flat plane. It's actually a plane with some extrusion, right? Especially like in some areas here, or targeted area like the chest, and then the hand here, and then the arm kind of protruding also. And also you might notice the cape is waving. And so we are going to discuss a little bit on the displacement map itself. So displacement map usually is used to create like peaks and valley on a terrain. Maybe you've seen this method been used several times. And as you can see here, like I have a plane here, and if we put like displacement map, which is a noise, it will extrude certain points that sampling the white area on the noise. And if it is sampling the black area, then it's not going to extrude anything. That's why it's kind of like giving the peaks and valley effects, right? As you might see, it's kind of like pretty low poly at the moment. You cannot really see it pretty clearly, but yeah, if we add more subdivision, let's say like 15, it will give more details to it. And if you make it higher and higher, it will just, getting higher density, higher or smoother transition also. So that's why in the model explanation, I showed you that the plane for the hero layer is actually, it has a lot of triangles, right? Or a lot of quads. It's not only like a quad, I think, but it has a lot of quads. That's why it needs higher resolution than the other one. In terms of performance, maybe there should be a limit to that, but I'm not really sure what's the limit. Again, I think you need to find out on your own. But basically, I think it all's kind of like, balanced out by the other model, which has it's only quads. It only has like 2 triangles, basically, right? 2 triangles and 4 vertices. But yeah, and so yeah, that's basically what displacement map usually do. So instead of sampling a noise, we sample the displacement map in form of a different texture. So how do you do that? Let's just I'm going to demonstrate that. So let's make a texture 2D here. Let's run this and drag it a little bit away like that, and then texture 2D, click OK, and then let's add a vertex first, and then let's multiply that, or maybe not multiply, add vector 3. We don't need vector 4 because vertex is living in 3D space, which is it has X, Y, and Z, and then like that. Right, now everything is just kind of like moving to the top right direction, so we need to multiply this one with normal. Wait, oh, multiply. We need to go like this. Now multiply that, and then normal. There you go. Now it's moving forward. So this is this normal multiplying the vertex by normal, or the texture by normal. It means that it will send the texture to the direction of the normal of the plane of the model itself, right? If it is a sphere, then it will protruding or extruding outwards. But if it is just a plane, it will just going forward where the plane is facing. So to what is it? Control this amount. We don't want it to be maximum, right? We want to be able to control how much of additional displacement we want to have. We are going to add multiply again. Multiply with the float parameters, and call this one displacement amount, and connect it to here. Now it's 0, right? Because the displacement amount is 0. Now if we, now we can like control it through the inspector. Can you see it? Yeah, I think, right? It is on top of my head. So, okay. Now, let's see the displacement map. So the displacement map is actually just a black and white, what is it? A black and white texture. So like I told you before, the texture is actually made inside Photoshop, right? So like I told you before, where 0 is no extrusion, right? There is no displacement, while gray here maybe 0 0.4, 0 0.5, not really sure, but white is like full extrusion, right? So by using this, not manipulating, I guess, using a targeted, I don't know what to call it, but targeted displacement, we can displace certain body part of the character, right? So in this case, let's take a look like a displace itself. So, it has like that. So now, let's say, I think 0 0.4, I think it's too much. 0 0.3, 0 0.35, okay. Right, so it's better now. So now it has that extrusion, right? So, and also one thing that sold the illusion is that you need to limit how far a model or the card can rotate, right? And that's what you need to do to not break the illusion. It might seem maybe there's like some artifacts here. I mean, you can like smoothen things up, but I think I'm too lazy to do that. It's just for demonstration purposes. But I think if you could like make the what is it, instead of like abruptly transition from white to black like this, where it has like I don't know, no feather whatsoever. It has feathers, it has feathering, but if you can make it a little bit blurry or whatever, I think you can make it a little bit smoother. But this is working for now. So that's how you add the what is it, the displacement thing. So not only you can make a terrain like this, displacement map can be used to make like a targeted area to be extruded, right? That's pretty simple. All right. So that's basically the gist of making your hero good. Now, it has no animation yet because the cape we haven't done anything to the cape. As you might note, or if you understand, or maybe that's such a bad statement, but if you paying attention, we can make a displacement depending on the color itself, right? And we can also make the same mask, so we can do the same thing. I'm just gonna copy this area, oops, and then we're going to make the second texture, but this one is gonna be animated, and we're going to add. So we add a different texture now, which is gonna be the cape mask. We are going to make the mask displaced. Add additional displacement to animated displacement to the cap. Sorry, I need to grab a drink. Okay. All right. Animated displacement. All right. So now we have the mask where it's only masking the cape itself, right? If you see there's the cape shape, right? Now, if we animate this by using time, oh, maybe not time, maybe UV panning. Oh no, that's not what you should do. We need to add noise to this one. I forgot about that. So we need to add noise, texture. I think I'm gonna copy this one again. This one is gonna be the animated noise. I don't know, yeah, okay, pretty good. All right. I don't think I need this. All right, so multiply the noise displacement with the animated mask, right? With the cape mask. Now like that, and then like so. Okay, nothing happened yet. Why? Yeah, because we haven't added anything. Let's add the scrolling animation by using UV panning. So if you want to understand more about the UV panning, you can go to my waterfall scene animation tutorial video, where I actually show you how to make a what is it? A UV panning basic, and this is actually the kind of like a follow-up thing here, right? Direction, right? And direction, and then animated noise. So let's add a noise texture 2D, and let's create a new fast light noise, and we're gonna use cellular. I mean, you can use anything you want, but usually cellular is working for me. I'm going to invert that, make it a little bit simpler than it is now. I think that would work. And make it seamless, right? Make it seamless, and then repeat to be enabled. All right. So let's see if we still have. All right, now we can add the displacement only to the cape, right? Like this, you know, so maybe 0.25. And then now let's add the direction to that. Maybe -1 would do. Oh, it's too fast, I think. All right. Maybe add more. Can make it like go to the back, but that looks a little bit bad. Like that. 0.4 would work, I think. We'll work just fine. All right, so that's basically it. How to make your cape animated, making it much more interesting to look at. So it's not only a static image, but also like it has a little bit of animation, right? Should I touch on the frame itself? Okay, well, let's see the frame. Maybe not. I don't think this is a good idea. But basically, if you're curious on what I'm doing with the what is it with the frame, you need to download the project on my Ko-fi, and I will provide it for free, so don't worry. Just download it, read it for yourself. But if you want to have an in-depth tutorial on the UV panning itself, go to the waterfall video on my channel. But I think I'm gonna skip this one. But either way, so that's you make the frames. I don't think I have time, brother. So I'm going to skip the frame. But yeah, just download the Ko-fi or just download the project file on Ko-fi, and then yeah, leave a tip maybe. I'm just joking. Anyway, so but yeah, let's take a look at this one at the background, right? If you rotate the camera, nothing really happened. But if you rotate the if you rotate the model here, let's see, geometry, not geometry, what is it? Transform. Rotate the model here, it has like a fake parallax, right? I don't know, you can see, even you can, if it's like rotated to the extreme, you can see top part that invisible before. But now like this, and it has like a daily planet, so it has kind of like that fake parallaxing, right? So the way you do it is that this is just the basic texturing stuff, but you go to vertex again. Oh, I think not to vertex, but to fragment. Instead of using the animated UV, you manipulate the UV by manipulating taking the direction of the model itself. So this is the function or the nodes that I use. I'm not really capable of explaining it because I achieved this through brute force. Sure, like, it's basically just experimenting stuff. So yeah, it's pretty fun, pretty interesting to achieve. And so yeah, one thing that I noticed here also is that you cannot achieve both. I think you cannot really achieve like by the the camera rotation and also the model rotation at the same time. Maybe there's a way, but I don't know how to do it. I'm not well versed enough in the matrices, the things here. But so yeah, I don't know. So basically that's how I do it. Anyway, I think that concludes the tutorial for this video. And so you just made a preview animation here, and then yeah, let's just see how it's look on the final thing. So that's my take on creating the Marvel Snap card. I don't know, let me know what you think down in the comment below. And if you are curious on the frame itself, go download this project on Ko-fi, and you can buy other things. This one is going to be for free because I don't do all the arts, I just do the shading and stuff, so it's free for education. And you can buy other things in Ko-fi to support the channel. And don't forget to like and subscribe, do all that jazz. And if you have questions, just leave the comment down below. I'm happy to respond to those. And thank you so much for watching. My name is Arif, signing out. See you next time, and bye.